The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam travels to Arabia. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Lampi. In today's video, we will further continue our story which is from the Quran. So, let's get started. One night, the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had a dream. In the dream, Allah spoke to him. He said to Ibrahim, "Pack your luggage, take your camel, tell your wife and your son to get ready, then go to Arabia." The Prophet Ibrahim called his wife Hajar and said, "Get ready, we are going on a trip." The next day, all of them rode on the camels and left the village. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his family travelled for many days. They climbed high mountains, they crossed deep valleys. In the end, they reached a great desert. There was nothing but sand in the desert. There was no shade giving trees. There was nowhere to hide from the sun. There were no clouds in the sky. The heat was making everybody thirsty. But there was no well. They had no more water. After a while, they reached a little valley. The camels stopped. The Prophet Ibrahim and Hajar and little Ismail got down from the camels. The Prophet Ibrahim said to Hajar, "You stay here, keep Ismail with you. I have to go back." The Prophet turned back and went away. Soon Hajar and Ismail were alone. Ismail started to cry. He was thirsty. Hajar put Ismail on the ground. She went to look for a well. She could not find any well. There were no wells in the valley. She looked for water at the stones, but there was no water there either. She ran here and there. It was useless. There was no water anywhere. Hajar tried again. She ran between the hills. She again looked for water. She was very afraid for her son. She did not know what to do. There was no water anywhere. She heard Ismail crying loud, and she ran back. She was afraid something might have happened. She was afraid he was getting sick of the heat. Ismail was lying on the hot sand. He was crying, he was kicking his legs in the sand. And then there was a miracle. There was a hole in the sand near his feet, and there was water in the hole. "Thanks be to Allah!" Hajar cried with joy. She took some water in her hand and gave it to her son. The water hole was really a spring. It was later called Zamzam. It never dried up. It even flows today. The moral of the story is that believers who, despite their hardship, follow the path of Allah, they will find that Allah will help them in miraculous ways, just as the child Ismail was saved by the miracle of Subrang spring. Story number 2, The Great Sacrifice. One night, Prophet Ibrahim had a dream. He was ordered by Lord to sacrifice his son. Allah talks to the Prophet, but he does not talk as we talk. But he wants prophets to do something. He shows it to them in a dream. A dream is like an order from Allah. The next day, the Prophet Ibrahim called Ismail. He said, Ismail, I had a dream last night. Allah wants me to sacrifice you. Ismail was not afraid. He loved Allah very much. He also knew Allah was good. Allah never does anything to harm good people. The Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail left Mecca. They went to the valley of Medina. This was the place that Prophet Ibrahim saw in his dream. Ismail lay down on the ground, closed his eyes. His father stood next to him. He picked up a knife, and he was ready to obey Allah by sacrificing his son. At the last second, the angel Ibrahim appeared. Allah sent Angel Ibrahim with a ram to be sacrificed instead. In this way, the little Ismail was saved, I guess. Ibrahim and Ismail cried with joy. They thanked Allah, and then the Prophet Ibrahim sacrificed the ram. Allah loves people who listen to him. He loves people who trust in him. He cares for them. Allah was so pleased with the readiness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his beloved son that he commanded the believers to observe this day as Eid al-Adha, the feast of sacrifice. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe for more content. Allah Hafiz.